This is Powered by the Trades, a Milwaukee Tool podcast.
Welcome to the Milwaukee Tool Podcast. We're here with Jordan from Milwaukee Tool. I am Matthew of Matthews Mowing out of Mount Vernon, Ohio. We're here to talk about the snowblower, which was just released here at Pipeline just yesterday. We went through the booth. Jordan gave me a demo of the snowblower, and it's pretty cool. I really like that thing. I mean, I think coming into that space where Milwaukee hasn't exactly been into the OPE that long, to bring something in like that to really shake up the cold month work, seems really, really cool.
Yeah, we were super excited, and it was absolutely challenging, I would say, to get into a new season, right? Like we have developed a lot of products for that spring through fall workflow for you guys, and to go after a new season, a new material that you have to deal with in these products. There's a whole lot we had to figure out. And I think the key to the success was just spending time with the pros, spending time out in the field, seeing what those issues were. Like we know what the competitive set does, but seeing how the pros today want that to be different. They want it to be improved. And that's how we make, all of our products here. We get in the field, we get that user feedback. So, we're super excited for that, and we're excited to see how this shift from just using, Milwaukee outdoor power equipment in that summer landscape maintenance season, and transitioning to that winter, what that can do for you guys.
Sure, absolutely. So, Jordan, tell us a little bit about yourself, what your job role is here at Milwaukee. Obviously you are in the outdoor power equipment scene, but kind of give the viewers kind of what your general job title would be.
Yeah. So I'm the product manager of 3 categories on the outdoor power equipment team. So I'm on mowers, our snowblower team, and the string trimmers as well. So I'm happy to finally be able to say snowblowers now that that's officially out there and it's public.
Yeah.
Almost had a couple slip ups where I said snow and that wasn't a thing yet, but so it's cool to be on both sides of the spectrum. I'm dealing with, products that cut grass, string trimmers, mowers, but then also in the wintertime, I'm out with a lot of those same crews that do that in the summertime, but getting after it in the wintertime, snow removal, snow maintenance, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things for me is this year I kind of tried to delve more into the battery side of things. One of the biggest things is everybody always says, well, I've always used gas. I've always used 2-cycle equipment. And kind of there's this like stigma around battery that it's not exactly up to par. It's not exactly there yet. It's not the greatest thing. And while I do believe that's a little bit true, I do think also that the battery stuff is coming up like 2 stairs at a time. Mm-hmm. And what I think about that into moving from the green industry of the warm season to then in the cold season, being able to utilize, because the battery snowblower is running on the M18 platform, which is awesome. Because right now I'm running the string trimmers and I'm running some of the handheld blowers and things like that in my business. And what that does for me is it allows me to take that battery and utilize it full year round. Yeah. Not just summertime, which is what we've seen from Milwaukee in the OPE industry for so long. Mm-hmm. That now being able to utilize that M18 platform and utilize the capability of it and the power of it for the cold season as well.
Yeah. And it was cool to see like that excitement for the winter season. And as I had those conversations with those pros, it was very much an eye-opening moment for me to be like, these guys are already using these packs all year round. Obviously not for snow removal. We didn't have a snowblower, but they're using the chainsaws. They're using the maintenance equipment to service their summer equipment during the off season as well. So it was a very seamless fit, staying on the M18 system, delivering a solution with that battery platform that they're using the same charger, same batteries, and they can just plug that in to a brand new piece of equipment that now removes snow. Like that got a lot of people excited. I know that's a lot of the hype around it right now as well.
Absolutely. And I know, just learning from you guys, talking to you over this week, that you guys do like years in advance sometimes of taking this stuff out time after time and time again to learn from us in these certain industries to get that thing exactly like what we want.
Yeah.
And that is really nice to hear from a business owner standpoint. It's not just like, here, we're going to push out this product and it's the best product that we've ever created.
Yep.
You're going to love it. And nobody really likes it because of the features that are on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those kind of things that when we see that new product come out and we're like, okay, and then we come to events like Pipeline and we're able to test that in the field, as I say.
Yeah.
It's really neat to see the thought process that went into it, because I'm sure you have gone out and you have talked to hundreds of landscapers.
Yep.
And you've talked to these guys and said, what are some of the things that you really, really want inside of a battery operated snowblower? Because it is kind of a new thing, like for what people have used gas and two cycle in previous.
Yeah. It's a terrible idea to try to design a product in a silo and think that we somehow have enough internal knowledge here at Milwaukee Tool to be like, we know how to make this snowblower the best. Like, we have a lot of really good core competencies here on batteries, motors, electronics, and all these other pieces of equipment that we've already created. But to think that we could, and not just with snowblower, but with any product, create something on our own, like getting out and getting that pro feedback, getting out in the field, and before we even know what maybe our product's going to look like, but going and watching you guys use it, watching, like I said at the beginning, how you guys struggle with the current piece of equipment. What are the aspects of gas that works really well? Like, there's a reason you're using the equipment you're using right now, because it works really well. So yeah, it's learning all that at the front end, and then taking that to our engineering teams and being like, hey guys, like, this is what we feel like is going to be game changing. And everyone asks, like, why did this snowblower take so long? Like, it's a really highly anticipated product. Like, we had to get this right. And sometimes it does take time to get it right. And we are not okay putting out a product that we don't feel like is ready for the market. So I really do think we got this one right in a lot of ways. And I'm excited to see the excitement around it. I do have a question for you, like, for when you're choosing what equipment you want to buy, and this is battery or gas, like what aspects of that equipment are you looking for? Like, what specs, runtime, like what are you looking for in gas or battery equipment that's like, this is the product that I need to buy to keep myself profitable, keep myself busy during your landscape maintenance or winter seasons?
Yeah, I guess just for me, I'm a maintenance guy. You know, I do basically all my own maintenance unless something is covered under warranty, things like that. Sure. And basically, I want to look at how easy is it to service? How simple is it? Do I have to take a whole bunch of covers off? Is there 3 different size screws just to take this one thing off that I have to every single week or every single day to maintain it? Or is it something that is going to last for a long period of time before I even have to do any maintenance on it? To echo that point, I know, everything has been 2-cycle. You have to mix the gas and you have to mix the oil, shake it up in the can, and you're good to go. Whereas with battery, it's almost foolproof, because what happens is all you have to do is take the battery and just put it in.
Yeah.
Certain batteries only fit certain things.
Yeah.
You can't put an MX battery in something that's made for M18. So that's kind of a nice feature of this outdoor power equipment also, is having that M18 platform be universal across everything. So even if some guy says, hey, I've got a flat tire on the truck, he can go put it in the inflator, put it right in there, inflate the tire, and then he can take that battery right back out, put it back in the snowblower, and the guy goes and does the snowblowing. If you forget to put the oil in the gas, I used to work at a small equipment dealer. It's not pleasant. These guys come in, they're like, hey, I can't get my equipment started. My guys put fuel in it and it doesn't work, and we'd go out and test it and there was no oil in it. Well, it doesn't like that very much. So
it's a little hot, a little quick.
It's not exactly ideal. So then you got to slap a bill to them and say, here you go, you know, this is what it costs for your guys to forget to put the oil in it. Whereas it's, like I said, it's almost foolproof for you to be able to put that M18 battery, just
very simple,
pop it in there and you're good to go.
I had a pro I was working with, I think he was local, for the snowblower when I was doing snowblower research, but he said he strictly moved away from the 2-stroke engines because of how many times people were just putting straight gas in there and not putting the mixed oil and gas in there and just destroying them. He's like, he wanted that experience to be more foolproof, like you said, So he's like, we're done with those because we've had so many issues with it. And like there's attention to detail, but there's also like, why don't we deliver a solution that is just much easier to use? And like that's a great example, and that's just one example on the snowblower, and a lot of these other products that are just so much more simple to maintain, simple to use, and it comes out in like the operation. If you look at the net operation of your business, like it's not just how fast can we get the application done, but how fast can I service it? How easy is it to service? How easy is it for one of my employees to screw something up on this? Like
Exactly.
that all comes into play when looking at one product versus the other, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure when you went out and you were doing in-field testing and presenting this product to the landscape companies, it wasn't all just one size company. It wasn't all this, like pictured. It was all, like here's 10 employees. This company has 15. This one might have 20, 50, 100.
Absolutely.
And so you're getting feedback from all these different guys of like, I'm a solo owner operator. So, I'm understanding it from the perspective of, even though I know my crew isn't going to take it out and just completely destroy it, because we all know that things that aren't yours, they really don't care.
Right.
And so something like that, I think, is really beneficial for these crews. Like I mentioned before, only one battery can fit certain things.
Yeah.
You don't forget to put the oil in the gas. They don't go out and they can't pull start it, and all of a sudden the starter cord breaks. And then they're like, hey, I can't get this thing started. And now your job site is 15 minutes off. So things like that, I just think are just beneficial for that battery system. And I also think the power of these things.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed. I started, like I mentioned before, started using the string trimmer and the battery blowers this season. And that was one big thing that I really noticed, like I was more efficient with it. I made sure that, everything was set up for me. I made sure that I had all the batteries that I needed, things like that. But it took me less time to do my properties because of the instant power, instant on, instant off.
Mm-hmm.
And also it was more lightweight. It didn't have the extra fumes and the extra heat building up, especially when it's 95 degrees and humid outside. Me as a landscaper sitting out there in the sun, it gets a little bit warm too.
Yeah, I believe it.
But it did make me more efficient, and I noticed there's a consistent power. There's no power drop in something that is battery operated versus something that is 2-cycle or gas.
Yeah.
And when we were testing the snowblower yesterday, obviously it is not exactly ideal conditions because it is summertime still.
Yeah.
But you had, what was the product or the part that you had over there that we were testing the snowblower in?
So yeah, we were testing in sawdust. We had two different types of sawdust that we were testing in. We had kind of more of a playground area that was a drier sawdust, and that represented that dry, fluffy snow that just about any snowblower can do okay in. And then we had in the front, which we were going against leading gas, we had a very wet, saturated sawdust, and like that's the kind of stuff where if it's wet, heavy snow, the stuff that you hate shoveling, right? It's extremely heavy, back-breaking snow. So we had two different types of sawdust that we were playing with, but it's a great way to see on a warm summer day, how does a snowblower process the material, and how does it? We talked about the chute yesterday on the snowblower. How does that chute process snow? Can it easily move heavy wet material? Does it get built up really easily? So yeah, it's fun to have to get creative sometimes in the middle of the summer, especially as we developed a winter product here. But yeah, that was pretty fun. A question on how do you transition your company? So like you're in charge of all the maintenance of your products. I've talked to crews that have been a little bit larger that have that dedicated like maintenance technician on site or at their shop to take care of all the equipment. What does that process look like for you as you transition from that fall going into winter season? You're starting to shut down some of that lawn equipment, firing up some of that snow removal equipment. Can you walk me through what that looks like for you?
Yeah. So basically, like I mentioned, I do my own maintenance on everything, and you did as well. It's kind of one of those, everything has to be done at a certain point in time. You can't leave the fuel in there for a long extended period of time, 3-4 months before it starts getting warm again, and you want to fire it up for that springtime season. So basically for me, I'll kind of walk through the little bit of it. So like every single thing has a little engine on it, whether it's 4-cycle, 2-cycle, doesn't matter. Each thing has air filter, spark plug, fuel filter. You've got all the like general, there's grass, there's buildup inside of it. You got to take the head off, and there's all these little things wrapped up inside of it from whatever has been strung. And so I really think the battery side of that really makes it so much better, so much easier. I couldn't put my trimmer up on the shelf and then 4 months later go out and start it. Like I mentioned, I worked at a small equipment dealer. It doesn't work that way. Every single spring we'd have this flush of a bunch of people coming in, and it was like landscapers included. They'd come in and they'd be like, I can't get this thing started. And we're like, did you do anything with the gas over the winter? No, I just hung it up. And it's like, oh man,
that only works for battery products.
Exactly. So I think that's a nice feature of it also, that even if you leave a battery in it, you leave the fuel inside of that piece of equipment, no matter when it is, you can go out and start it up. And I think that is another maintenance has dropped down. We know right now the workforce is a little bit crazy sometimes. And you can't maybe find that guy who is specialized in doing maintenance on equipment. And so I think having the ability to just put things away and then transition from summer season to winter season almost simultaneously is fantastic.
Yeah, even stuff like the storage orientation. Like for our snowblower, we place it right up on the intake. You can flip it up, put that thing in any orientation you want to store it, and it's fine. Cannot do that with a gas engine, right? There's so many, like we keep saying, so many little things that just make the transition, like either storage or maintenance, like it adds up really quick. And if you have a maintenance technician, even if you do have a maintenance technician, like he's not just sitting around and has extra time to just get all this winter product ready, or at the end of winter season, like summarize it, we can call it, for that summer season. Like he's still got other equipment to be servicing, like it's constantly going. So making that transition as easy as possible is something that like we saw as another major benefit of making that transition to battery as you swap season to season. So I'm curious, like what is going to be most beneficial in your eyes of making that swap, like to a dedicated snow removal product on that same system, from like the summer maintenance to winter maintenance?
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, I'm solo owner operator, so it's not really like like I don't have to make a decision for me and the crews.
Right.
But also, I just think like as I've started to use more battery this summer and using it in the warm season, I've noticed, like I mentioned, more efficiency, better performance, and the no bog down, of like what 2-cycle or, gas would do. As the engine gets under a load, it starts to drop itself down. Whereas with we were doing the snowblower yesterday in the demo area, there was no bog down. There was no drop in RPMs, nothing. And so to me, being a solo guy, you're out there doing all the work. And so, I mentioned yesterday, I think it was to you, I had another brand of snowblower. It was a battery operated one. I bought it because I thought this is going to be fantastic. Lightweight. I can easily pick it up off the truck, put it down on the ground. I'm good to go. Pop a battery in it. It failed on me within like the first half hour. And I was like, so then my mind starts going to, this is what battery snowblowers are.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not that kind of guy, but it was like at 2:30 in the morning and it's cold and I'm out there like I have to get this job done by 5 o'clock because people are going to start coming in.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
It's not an ideal situation. So when I knew Milwaukee was coming out with one, and actually the kind of like thing that I mentioned to the guy who I bought it from, I said, my Milwaukee batteries have never failed me out in the cold. Like that's never been an issue. And so when I knew that Milwaukee would be coming out with something that was on that M18 platform that, like we said, could simultaneously switch between seasons.
Yeah.
And it can be out there in the cold. I mean, I've had them out there in negative temperatures and never had one issue with them.
Yeah.
So knowing that thing is going to perform, I can pick it up off the truck, put it down, do the whole entire job that I need to do with it, and never once have an issue.
Yeah.
I can rely on that.
Yeah. And that, I said it a lot of times yesterday to everyone we talked to at Pipeline, but we did not just deliver another battery powered snowblower because we knew the expectation with our equipment is that it can be a gas replacement in terms of delivering that performance that they expect, and more importantly, especially in the winter season, reliability. Like you talked about, in the middle of the night, early morning, you have to get that done, and it's not just maybe grass that's a little bit longer because you have to come back the next week. This is a safety condition now that we're worrying about with snow and driveway and sidewalks, walkways, all that stuff. Like, it is a very critical thing to have a piece of equipment that's reliable. We knew that going into this product, like, we had to deliver a solution that had that reliability, had the performance, because that is the pro's expectation. That is your guys' expectation.
Absolutely.
So like I said yesterday, everything on that snowblower, batteries, motors, electronics, all the features, everything from like what do we feel like those common drops are going to be, or what are the user telling us those common drops are going to be, taking it in and out of a truck. Everything has to be reliable on this snowblower because you guys are depending on it. And if we deliver some performance but we don't deliver on the rest of the things that you guys expect, we're starting to deliver products that are kind of like maybe some of the other experiences you've had with some of our competitors, that they just kind of meet you halfway, and that does nothing for you guys, right?
Right. Yeah, and I think one of the big things to echo that also is learning from Milwaukee that you guys might not be the first person out there with a new product.
Yep.
You know, battery snowblowers are nothing new. They have been out for many years now.
Yep.
And it's like a lot of people are maybe saying, why hasn't Milwaukee come out with something yet? Like, this is something not new.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I've learned from Milwaukee is you guys take that time and you're like, if it's not perfect, we're not going to put it out yet.
Yeah.
Because we want people to then buy that and say, this is the best thing that I've ever used, and it has made me the most efficient, and I can't believe I've gone this long without it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I talked about at the beginning, like, that we had a couple moments developing this product where, like, this is not something we are okay with putting in professionals' hands because it doesn't meet their expectation. So we have to level set and be like, what is that user expectation? What does that true user need? And if we're not meeting that, we can't necessarily deliver that product in full confidence. So it's frustrating sometimes because, like, that level of perfection, like, you never have an absolutely perfect product, but making sure we meet that user need is strictly very, very important to us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we a little more on that snowblower product, just because it's so new this week. Like, we are excited to deliver that solution for you guys that is really, I talked about that true gas replacement, and even in some manner beating what you guys expect out of a gas snowblower. So we were doing that head-to-head demo against 252cc gas. Like, that is a large engine for a single stage snowblower.
Yes.
That industry leading performance, we're able to even beat that in some of those demanding scenarios. And I'm excited about it because it's a testament to, like, what our systems can do. That M18 system, we're pushing it to new levels. That next generation Forge batteries, like, that is what's making this type of technology and performance possible. And I'm curious, like, what was your reaction to that? Feeling the performance yesterday, hearing about these levels, but then seeing it in person and feeling it, like, what did you feel about that?
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is, like, the weight of it. You know, if you're picking this thing up all the time, you want it to be similarly lightweight. I mean, things are going to be heavy regardless. You're going to have to, take a little bit of effort to actually pick it up and take it off the truck. But it, like I mentioned, at 2:30 in the morning and it's 20 degrees outside and you're like, man, it's cold out here. I don't want to have to be sitting there trying to lift this thing up and out of somewhere and put it down on the ground. I want it to just be something quick and easy. Pick it up, put it down, put 2 batteries in it, and walk it to wherever it needs to go. Especially in snow, you have the underside of, right on the pavement might be a little bit slippery.
Yeah.
It might be, icy. There might be some snow that's
Definitely
really hard packed. And that's what I noticed yesterday was it was going through the pine shavings that were wetted down to simulate that wet, heavy snow. It was going through that with ease.
Yeah.
And so kind of talk about a little bit of that as well, of kind of why you guys chose the M18 platform. Like, I know a lot of guys are saying, well, maybe it should have been the MX platform. The MX has, some of these bigger tools. Why did you guys choose the M18 platform to kind of wrap around with this snowblower?
Yeah. before we even made that decision, it was pretty cool to have two extremely capable systems that we can choose from. I feel like there's a lot of competitors probably wish they had that availability to them, but we did look at that seriously, and we're like, what is the best option for a snowblower like this? And a lot of people ask, like, M18 versus MX, single stage versus dual stage. How do you guys make that decision? So we are always going to be hyper focused on the pro landscaper and outdoor power equipment specifically. Like, what are those pro user needs? How do we best set up a system of products on a battery system that allows them to, like we've said a bunch in this interview, like a bunch of batteries that can be used across all products? And then how do we deliver a product that meets the user need in terms of performance as well? So I alluded to it a little bit already, but that next generation of Forge batteries allowed us to have M18 as a legitimate option for this tool, and doing it on a dual battery platform, on the 36 volt platform with two M18s, we found that, like, we can do this, and we are now delivering industry leading performance on that system. So being able to stay on M18, that is on a host of most of our OPE products, and keeping that system compatibility and using that now on a brand new seasonal tool, like for a snow removal tool, we saw that as being the best way to meet your guys' user need. So it delivered industry leading performance, which was most important, and then maintaining that system compatibility so you guys can keep investing in those same batteries and chargers, and now that's going to all flow right into your winter season as well. Like, that's when we knew we had a game-changing solution here for you guys.
Awesome.
I appreciate your time, Matt. I think we are super excited to see you guys finally use it in snow this winter time. I know we're kind of limited to what we were able to test in this summer, but we are super excited to get you guys get everyone using the product in snow, because I think that's going to be kind of eye-opening for everyone to see what we're able to do on this system in the wintertime.
Absolutely. And thank you, Jordan, for talking to me about this. It's kind of something, like I mentioned, new to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see the future of this, and to see what the M18 platform can do for OPE for the winter months as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you.